So I'll make sure this thing works. Good evening, folks. The time is 6:32 p.m. The regular meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Freehold for December 16th, 2024 is now called to order. Adequate notice of this meeting is provided at least 48 hours prior to the commencement of this meeting, pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 231 of the laws of 1975, the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice of the time, date, and location of this meeting has been provided by posting a copy of public meeting dates on a municipal bulletin board and by sending a copy to the Asbury Park Press and the Star Ledger and filing a copy with the municipal clerk. I'd like to ask everyone to please stand for a salute to the flag, followed by a moment of silence. Since this is a special occasion and there are many law enforcement officers, both active and retired, I would like to ask every law enforcement officer to please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Have a roll call, please.
Mayor Kane.
Here.
Councilman Benedetto.
Here.
Councilman Freeman.
Here.
Councilwoman Jordan. Here. Councilman Reich.
Here.
Councilwoman Rogers. Here. Councilwoman Schuster. Here.
This is very, very exciting. Anytime we get to swear in law enforcement, whether it's for promotional purposes or new officers, is always an exciting time here in Freehold Borough. I'm probably going to make a mistake here and mention a couple people who have traveled to be with us tonight, and I know I'm going to be missing some people, so I'll be kicking myself. I'm going to ask Council President Schuster and Council Member DiBenedetto to help me out if I miss anybody. But all the way from Fairfax County, Virginia, we have Deputy Chief Jeff Reef. John's other brother, Patrolman Ryan Reef from Spring Lake. I don't know where he's hiding, but we have our former police chief here in the borough, Craig Dispenza. Former rank officer with us, and now the chief in Morrisville, Pennsylvania, Rich Ciempa. And and there's various members of RPD here and retired members of RPD. So I just want to thank you all for coming out. It's a very, very special occasion. What I'd like to do is ask Chief Collier if he'd say a couple of words. We're going to be swearing in 5 different promotion and officers. So, but I'd like to ask the chief to say a few words to get us started.
Thank you, Mayor Kane, members of the council, Business Administrator Gallo. Tonight we are here to witness the oath of office by our newly promoted and newly hired officers. Lieutenant John Reef, Lieutenant Diego Flores, Sergeant Peter Romansky, Officers Michael Crawford, Michael Maxfield, Tyrone Hastings, and I would also like to acknowledge our newest recruit officer, Brandon Harris, who will be starting his 22 weeks of training at the Monmouth County Police Academy in January. It's no secret. It's no secret that in a short time, we lost approximately 125 years of police experience from our agents. It's a tough hill to climb. It's an invaluable experience. We can't replace chief, lieutenant, detective, 2 senior patrol officers. But to these officers, these newly promoted officers, The expectations are high. But we are confident that each will rise to the challenge. I wanted to express my sincere gratitude to the council for your leadership in support and advancing the recent police promotions and new hiring initiatives. These crucial steps will not only strengthen our police force, but also enhance accountability, oversight, improve efficiency, and elevate the quality of service we provide to our community. By prioritizing these efforts, you are helping ensure that our police department is better equipped to serve the community, protect with integrity, professionalism, and responsiveness. Your continued commitment to these values is essential in building a safer, more connected community for all. Thank you once again for your leadership and for prioritizing these resources necessary to build a stronger, more effective police department. Thank you.
Okay. I'd like to ask Lieutenant Diego Flores to come forward with your family, please. Get sworn in. Okay. Stand on the Bible. Repeat after me, please. I, Diego Flores,
I, Diego Flores,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the
of
Constitution
the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all of the duties
of Lieutenant of the Freehold Borough Police Department
of Lieutenant of the Freehold Borough Police Department
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Officer Diego's wife is also a proud member of our police force.
Okay, another lieutenant promotion, John Reef. You want me on that side? I, John Reef,
I, John Reed,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution
I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the governments established
to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
of Lieutenant of the Freehold Borough Police Department
of Lieutenant of the Freehold Borough Police Department,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God. This is James and my nephew. We ended up in all of our family photos.
Go over behind.
We'll slide it.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. We gotta put the big one in the middle.
Monmouth County Prosecutor Ray Santiago just entered the room.
I was gonna Hopefully none of these get too close to him, but thank you for coming.
And his assistant prosecutor,
Julia Alonso.
Julia, is also here.
So usually it's very hard for me to hide anywhere, for a number of reasons, but I mean, most people know I have a very strong affinity for Freehold Borough. I love to see the guys that are here. Great pick. Thank the council and the mayor for the promotion today under the leadership of Chief Collin here. I know the department's in a great position, and I'm looking forward to work getting to collaborate with everybody. So, Merry Christmas, congratulations to all of you getting promotions today. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
The only thing I'll say, I have the privilege, I've been working at the prosecutor's office for about 24 years, and I had the honor and distinction to work with a lot of these gentlemen since I was a baby lawyer, and these individuals were baby officers, and to see us all, I always say kind of growing up together is really an honor, and your community is in the best hands. You have the finest of Monmouth County, and you're all very lucky. Thank you for your leadership and making us continually proud.
Thank you both for coming. Really appreciate it. Okay, next we have a sergeant promotion, Peter Romansky. I, Peter Romansky,
I, Peter Romansky,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
of Sergeant of the Freehold Borough Police Department
of Sergeant of the Freehold Borough Police Department
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Prosecutor, want to swear somebody in? All right. Peer pressure, peer pressure, peer pressure. This is tremendous. We have 3 new officers all being sworn in tonight. So this is very, very exciting. So I'm going to ask the prosecutor to help me with this, swearing in our new officers. So Michael Crawford.
I, Michael Crawford,
I, Michael Crawford,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of
all the duties of
patrolman of the Freehold Borough Police Department,
patrolman of the Freehold Borough Police Department,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
And you know you're old when the father you think of as the young Crawford. this is a good time for me to say, if there is ever a good time for me to say anything, that we swear in these officers and we love and respect these officers, and everybody knows what I'm going to say, that this is a family affair, and we love and respect the families as well, and we respect the fact that you send these folks out to protect us. So we appreciate you as well, the family.
Yes, sir.
Okay, next, Michael Maxfield.
I, Michael Maxfield,
I, Michael Maxfield,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of
all the duties of
patrolman of the Freehold Borough Police Department,
patrolman of the Freehold Borough Police Department,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability,
So help me God.
so help me God. Sorry.
Okay, Tyrone Hastings. There you go.
Kevin, have him come on.
Yeah, watch it. Yeah, watch it.
I, Tyrone Hastings,
I, Tyrone Hastings,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and that I will bear true allegiance and faith to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of
all the duties of
patrolman of the Freehold Borough Police Department
patrolman of the Freehold Borough Police Department
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
And I will buy any one of you Jersey Mikes anytime you want.
I know most of you are staying for the rest of the meeting. Just in case, anybody from council, have any comments or anything for officers or anything? We good?
That's it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Again, thank you everyone for coming out this evening. Obviously, you don't have to stay for the rest of the meeting unless you really want to, but we appreciate it. Ray, thank you so much for coming in. Leah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Like all of them. Just the ones here, or like all of them. You guys look suspect me. Know the difference in you? It's funny. Yeah, I can't tell. You got like the dark blue one.
Well, good. Yeah, well. Now you'll see the room empty out. That's okay. Take care. Congratulations.
Thank you. I think I told you if you want to make
Yes,
it over
sir.
there.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right. Congratulations. Best of luck.
What's up, buddy? How are you? Feeling better? Yeah, I'm getting there.
I didn't want to close, so I
No, I understand. For a long time, I wasn't taking any calls.
yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I heard. I'll see you when I see you. So I'm glad you're doing.
My wife, Tracy. Tracy, see you.
Very nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you. I'm glad to see you. I got the PDA presentation, so let me know how many you want.
You heading over to the hotel at all? How's family? Good?
27 and 24 now.
Take care. It was nice having lunch today.
Yes.
Catch up again soon.
Steve, I'll catch up to you later.
To be sure, take care. Or we
Trace,
should,
good
we
to see
should
you.
talk next week.
Yes.
And back end of this week, whenever. Let me know when you're available.
I'm going to call Mark because I got an email from Kathy saying that I'm missing 6 weeks of pay this year. Not going to be able to pay me.
Okay. Stop paying.
How was it? I missed
Yeah.
it.
This is retroactive. That's not the way I live.
Yeah, I just said that's
We'll figure it out.
See you later.
Who's hiding up there? Where is he? You know? I know I waved. Hi, Steve. How are you? Good. How are you?
Very well.
Does he feel pretty good?
Good? He's going to call the meeting to order again.
I'm sorry, I thought Chris was at his nice fit. Long.
All right, we're good to go. I have, that was very exciting. It's always great when we can spur insults and stuff. Item 5 this evening is our workshop discussion. We have an affordable housing presentation by our esteemed affordable housing attorney, Leslie London of McMahon, Scotland, Malvern. So, I'll turn it over to Steve. Anything to lead or?
No, I think you covered it. Leslie's going to give us an update on some outstanding litigation that we've been hoping to resolve and the what our obligations are going forward with the new affordable housing. So there you go.
Good evening, everyone. Mayor, council members, staff, public. It's hard to follow what just happened.
We knew you were the person for it.
I knew something was going on in the parking lot. Was totally full. But welcome again, and thank you for inviting me this evening. Affordable housing is an issue of great importance, and this is my point. That it is continuously changing. It's still complicated. People don't understand it. There's a lot of misunderstandings about affordable housing. What I want to do this evening is touch on a couple of things. The presentation itself is a little lengthy, but I provided Steve with a copy so he can provide it to you in more detail because I don't need to go through every little nuance of it, but I wanted to highlight a couple of things. And there was an interesting document that was issued by the Fair Share Housing Center, I believe it was just last week, It's called Developing Effective Housing Plans in the Fourth Round. And I will also provide that to Steve, so any council member that would like to read through it, but this is from Fair Share's perspective of affordable housing. I have not read through it yet, but I'm sure it's going to be very interesting reading. We have to start now with the third round because unfortunately we're still here. The third round ends June 30th, 2025, and because we were late in filing our DJ action, it is still ongoing. We've been trying to wrap it up. We are so close, and unfortunately, what has delayed the process is that Fair Share Housing Center has gone through several staff changes. We had 3 people from Fair Share move on. So every time someone left, someone else had to pick it up, and then kind of become reorientated with the case. We also had a change in your housing consultant. We had one person at CGP&H for a while, and then he left. He was replaced with another staff member, and she brought us up to probably the beginning of fall. She left to go to DCA and had not finished everything that needed to be done. And that left hardly anybody there to do this type of work. The president of the company is pushing, he's taken it over, and he has obligated himself to carry us forward through the fairness hearing that needs to happen. So all of these delays culminated in us not having a final settlement agreement yet. I hope to have it soon. Right now, we are scheduled by the court for a fairness hearing for January 24th. However, for that to happen, a public notice needs to be issued 30 days prior to the hearing date. And the documents have to be on file, ready for the public to see 30 days before. So, in all likelihood, that's not going to happen. Fair Share has still not given me the final version of the settlement agreement, which council has to approve. And it just puts everything back because, again, we have 30 days notice. So I'm sure I will have a case management conference with the judge coming up fairly shortly to find out what's going on. But with that said, let's talk a little bit about affordable housing. So, just a brief history, and many of you probably know this already, but the Mount Rule Doctrine came out of a case in 1975, and it created a constitutional obligation for every municipality in New Jersey to provide their fair share of the region for affordable housing. So the borough has a mandatory constitutional obligation to provide its fair share. People say, why do we have to do this? New Jersey is very unique in that it's based on the Constitution, ingrained through case law, so it's a constitutional obligation. If you choose not to do it, you end up in a situation that I'm currently in one of my other towns. They did not file for third round, and they had 6 builder remedy lawsuits filed against them. And the judge was not very forgiving. Gave us 90 days to enter into settlement agreements, and each of those developers are getting essentially what they asked for. So that is why when we first came to the borough, we emphasized how important it was to file a DJ action to prevent the builder from coming in and riding the bus, so to speak. We were able to do that. So at least we had some flexibility. The borough is part of Region 4, which consists of Mercer, Monmouth, and Ocean counties. So the regional number, your number is based on the region. It's not based just on Freehold Borough. And that's what sometimes people get confused with, saying, well, in town we have enough affordable housing. It doesn't matter. It's based on the region. They take all the numbers from those 3 counties, group them up, and then determine what the number should be region-wide. So you may have affordable housing, but it doesn't matter in a sense because it's pulled together with all the other municipalities in the region. So essentially, what is affordable housing? It means housing with a sales price or rent within the means of a very low or moderate income household. And there's a chart that comes out every year that gives you the range of the income levels. And I know that must be very difficult to read because I can't see it. I can even see mine. But it'll be in the package when you see it. But it will give you an indication what constitutes medium income, moderate, low, and very low. So you'll be surprised because, again, it's region-based. So some of the numbers will surprise you as being very high, income-wise. Because I think people equate affordable housing to maybe Section 8 or very, very low housing. But it's generally people that are working, school teachers, people coming out of college. How many people do we know coming out of college can't find some place to rent because the rents are so high? So it's meant to help that type of person also.
Could you give us that median income number?
It's on the chart.
This for the public, this so they have.
Well, there's several of them.
Okay.
It's based on per person. I'll use as an example. Low income, one person, 45,515. Now let's do a family. 3-person family, low income, 58,524. Let's do very low. Again, a 3-person household, 35,115. So the numbers are high.
How about medium?
Moderate income, let's say a 2-person household, $83,234. Any 5-person households, moderate, $112,367. So it's surprising when you look at the numbers.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So for the third round, the obligations were determined by a decision that came out of Mercer County, Judge Jacobson, in 2018. And all the judges essentially followed that methodology. It was over a 200-page decision that she issued over, I think, at least 3 or 4 months. And those numbers were used to determine third round obligations for each municipality. The number that was determined for the borough of Freehold was 112 affordable units. So it's broken down into 3 categories, at least for the third round. You had a rehabilitation, present need obligation. That's rehab, that's your current housing stock, what you're supposed to do. That was 287. Prior round obligation, that carried over, was 188. And the third round obligation was 112. So essentially the number that we had to deal with going into the third round was 112. The rehab obligation, the borough was taking steps to achieve through the RCAs and other rehab programs. We had CGP&H working with you to set up programs so that people in town could qualify for rehab of the housing, and that will continue. You could also satisfy your rehab obligation through new housing. So the next chart is even smaller. But it really just talks about the third round obligation, which was the 112. And the number 112 was important because we had a decision to make, or a determination, how do we come up with housing to satisfy 112 units. Now keep in mind, the third round should have covered 10 years. So the later you started, the less time you had to achieve it. So, we didn't have much time. We started, 2 years ago, I think, approximately. But we found, initially we thought that we would have to do a vacant land adjustment. A vacant land adjustment allows municipalities, if they do not have sufficient vacant land available, to take certain steps to bring the number down. The number never goes away, but what comes out of that is what's called a realistic development potential number. And it essentially is what realistically can you do with the lack of vacant land. And then you have an unmet need, which is the balance that you cannot achieve. It's aspirational. You do zoning and create other programs to aspire to reach that number. In many cases, it never happens, but you have to make a good faith effort to reach that number. So with vacant land, you try and bring your number down. We did all the vacant land analysis back and forth with Fair Share, because they look at every piece of land, a parking lot, an underutilized area of a business, anything they consider vacant land. And by the time we went through that whole analysis, we realized we had enough projects to reach 112, so we didn't have to use the vacant land, because it was actually hurting us. So we are at the road now, 112. We have come up with projects to meet that number, and we're just waiting for Fair Share to finalize a settlement agreement that can be presented to you to sign off on. What will happen next is we will have a fairness hearing, and that fairness hearing is essentially going before the judge, before Judge Russell Jones, and saying, or Fair Share agreeing with us, and we have a court master who's now a court, a special adjudicator, Frank Banish, who will say that the borough has satisfied its obligation, and you will get a judgment of repose, compliance and repose. To protect you, it's a short period of time now, but from whenever we get it until June 30th. So if you had filed earlier in the process, you would have had protection for at least 7, 8 years, or whatever, when we first started the process. And so I will be keeping Steve informed where we are with Fair Share. If we have to wind up pushing that date back for some reason, but we're trying to do everything possible to achieve it. So now we move on to the 4th round. The 4th round is in process. It changes a lot of things. The first thing the 4th round does is abolishes COA. COA was essentially put on the shelf with the Supreme Court decision back in 2015. They existed in name and maybe had one staff person, but in reality they weren't doing anything. The court was given the power to hear the cases and to determine your obligation. So this 4th round, the whole change in the law, is a combination of the two. The COA no longer exists. You have new entities involved, but the court is still involved to a certain degree. It also establishes new processes for calculating your obligation. In the statute, it's very long, several pages, going through the methodology of how to come up with the number. That is where you have your planner, your expert, go through to make sure that you agree with the methodology. It's based on the 3rd round methodology to some degree, but then there are nuances, changes. And based on that methodology, the legislature said to DCA, calculate numbers for the entire state. So whereas before you had Judge Jacobson in Mercer County doing the numbers for the entire state, we now have DCA who was preparing that task. The legislation also set forth very specific and aggressive timelines for actions to be taken by municipalities, and severe penalties, if you want to call them that, if you fail to do so. Just like they would build a remedy in the prior iterations of COA, there's still opportunities for builders to raise their hand and say, hey, I have some property I can build some housing in your municipality if you fail to do things. So there's still, may take a chance and do nothing, but they run the risk of a builder coming in, and it's very real. Believe me, the case that I'm dealing with, six builders. Yes. So as I mentioned, COA is no longer in the process. You have the Department of Community Affairs, you have the Administrative Office of the Courts, you have county level housing judges, and you have Affordable Housing Dispute Resolution Program. So it sounds a little complicated, and it is. And they're supposed to be coming up with some sort of regulations to explain what all this means and how it's supposed to happen. That has not happened yet. So everyone is kind of doing the best that they can and following the direction of their attorneys and some guidance from Fair Share and DCA. So DCA is going to be adopting rules and regulations to implement the legislation. They're going to make updates to UHAC, Trust Fund, and as I mentioned, they calculate the need or the obligations of the municipalities. Interestingly and importantly, the numbers that they determine for each municipality are not binding. You have an opportunity to say, I don't agree with that number. I'm going to challenge it and come up with my own, not your own number, as long as you follow the methodology. And if you follow the methodology and find, in your opinion, that there was a mistake made, you can argue that. It's not likely that you're going to find a mistake because it's so math-driven and calculated. But it's not impossible. But in order to do that, you need to have a qualified planner, someone that really knows affordable housing and this whole process to do the calculations and to see if they can find something they disagree with. So you have the opportunity to do that. DCA is the primary entity. You have the Administrative Office of the Courts. I was told that DCA will be promulgating some rules soon, and they're going to do it on an emergency basis so that there's not going to be a need for a review process where you normally comment and everything. This is what I was told, so I have yet to see that happen yet, and we're in December. So you have the Administrative Office of the Courts. They are going to oversee this new entity or program, strange name, Affordable Housing Dispute Resolution Program. And they've already named the judges. These are all retired judges. Most, if not all of them, have had some affordable housing experience. And Judge Jacobson is on there, who had the major decision of the Jacobson decision. But these are people who will oversee the program. And I'll talk about the program. Then there are county level judges, somewhat similar to what's happening now, where the Supreme Court Justice will designate a Supreme Court judge in each vicinage to serve as the one to oversee housing cases. For us, we have Judge Grosso Jones, who oversees Monmouth County, and probably Ocean also. And then the program is the entity, and it's just strange calling it the program. This is odd. But this entity will take on the responsibility similar to that of COA. They will review the housing element and fair share plan that will need to be submitted by the borough to the DCA. They will issue what's called a compliance certification if the housing plan is approved. and they would be the ones providing immunity from exclusionary zoning to the municipality to protect you against building remedy lawsuits. The housing element and fair share plan is something that you've done in the past. You've done it for the third round. It includes a spending plan. Your spending plan identifies the development fees that are coming in through development that the developers pay. That money is targeted strictly for use in the trust fund. You can't use the trust fund without having the spending plan approved by the court. So the spending aspect to that. So you have for the 10 years, you will kind of forecast where you think the money's coming from. From development fees, you do an estimate, and any other monies you may get grants and other fees coming in, and how you plan to spend it. Do you plan to spend it on rehab programs? And there's a certain percentage of the money that you can spend on each of the programs. And some of the money can be used to offset your costs for legal planning, up to 25% of the funds in the trust fund. So those bills you can charge against the trust fund. So your housing element plan is able to be challenged by anyone, essentially. Once you determine what your plan is, and it's filed with the DCA, and it's public, you can have fair share decide that they want to challenge it. You could have a builder decide they're going to challenge it. But you can't just challenge it without having some substantive backbone to your challenge. Okay, let's get through. The methodology for calculating the fourth round, I'm not going to go into because it's too much. And we just had a long evening. I think I'll put everyone to sleep if I start talking about the methodology. But it will be in the package that you receive. Okay, so after the obligations have been established, that's what DCA has done. DCA published the numbers at least a month ago, I believe. As I mentioned, you don't have to accept the numbers. If you think you can challenge them, the plan of things is an out, you can do so. However, what happens when you challenge your number, since it's a regional number, it's going to affect the region. So that means if, let's say, your number, if you're successful and you get your number down, that means somebody else's number's going up. So it's catch-22 in a lot of ways. So DCA calculated your numbers for the borough for the fourth round. Present need at 270 and prospective need at 49. Now present need, as I mentioned, is rehab work. And this covers a 10-year period. So it's not like, oh, we have to do something with 270 units immediately. It's over a 10-year period. And prospective need is showing right now is 49. And I think this calculation was done before the world changed in Freehold with respect to some businesses leaving. So that may impact the number. You may have somebody wanting to challenge that.
So that number could go up.
It could, but I think this is what they calculated, and you have every right to say you agree with it. And somebody coming forward to challenge it would have to make a case showing that the number's wrong. So as I mentioned, going into the fourth round, you may want to do a vacant land. It may make sense for the fourth round based on whatever is happening at that time. So we won't know that until we delve more into the fourth round. key to have a good plan. I can't overemphasize the importance of having a good planner. Because the planner, yes, it makes a big difference because a lot of the process involves the planner and the planner guiding you on what to do. So yes, there's legal, but the planner in this case is a little bit more important. Because the planner understands all of the rest of this. How to get credits, how to get bonus credits, how we can double the numbers, and how to reach our number. And it's a math that planners know, and planners have the wand to help that come to fruition. So depending on what type of housing you do, and I know it's small print again, if you do a certain amount of low or moderate income housing, that one you just get 1 credit. Just as an example, age restricted housing, there's 1 credit, but it has bonus credits attached to it. Redevelopment projects were given bonus credits. So redevelopment projects, that's helpful because not only do you get a credit for it, you get another bonus credit. And again, these are all things that the planner would be laying out for the borough. Because a lot of it gets a little complicated depending on if it's age restricted. You can only do a certain amount of age restricted. You can't do 100% age restricted. Fair share in particular, and the UHAC regulations require that a certain number of houses or a certain percentage be for families. So I know some developers like to keep to 1 or 2 bedrooms, but fair share in UHAC regulations will require that some of the developments have a minimum number of 3 bedrooms. One of the key things that I wanted to go over as I close is the schedule of deadlines. The legislation set forth a lot of deadlines starting from when the legislation was enacted through 2026. Several dates have already gone by. The next very, very important date, which I've highlighted in yellow, is January 31st, 2025. That is the deadline that the borough has to pass a resolution, a binding resolution, whether or not it will accept the DCA's numbers. Now, there's been no set formal resolution. What is a resolution supposed to say? I guess we have to create one. I was hoping DCA or Fair Share or league municipalities would come up with a set format of what it should look like, but I haven't seen it yet. So we have several municipalities, so we'll work on a resolution. So that means at some meeting before January 31st, you need to make that determination. Do you agree with DCA's numbers? Do you want to pass a resolution to that effect? Or do you want to oppose the numbers? But if you oppose that, you have to have a basis to oppose it. And I think at your 49 present need number, that's a low number over a 10-year period. So I know how much better you can do than that. 0, but very few have 0. Now, after you pass a resolution, it has to be posted on your website. It has to be posted at DCA's website, and it has to be done within 48 hours after adoption. So again, there's very strict timelines for things to be done by the municipality. And failure to do so will result in losing immunity from exclusionary zoning up until the point where you come to compliance. So you want to make sure you meet that January 31st deadline.
Is that irrespective of what's going on currently with delays in the fairness hearing and everything?
That, I don't think there was a stay. I don't think there was a stay issue. I believe the case was argued, but I have not read anything about an actual stay. Because there is pending litigation to challenge the calculations. And then there's another litigation challenging the whole process. But I don't recall seeing anything indicating a stay of the process. So until there's a stay issued by the court saying you don't have to do anything pending the outcome of the litigation, you need to move forward. And anyone that wants to challenge your number, once you post it on your website, once it's on DCA, they have until February 28th to make that challenge. And they file it through the DCA, and they have to state with particularity how the Rose calculation fails to comply with the methodology laid out in the legislation. And the challenger's own calculation of fair share obligation must be included. So if someone is challenging, they cannot only say, well, I disagree with the number's too low. They have to set forth in detail why the number is too low, and what methodology they use to reach that number that they're saying it should be. Okay? And then there are more dates that take us all the way through actually adopting your plan. And again, it will be in the handout, so you can take a look at that. And does anyone have any questions?
I have a question. So, if I understand correctly, our obligation for round 3 is 112?
Yes.
Which we are, well, we have enough to cover that, plus a little bit more. So does the little bit more go towards round 4, the
Yes.
49?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, anything that's a carryover goes to round 4. So fair share, unfortunately, keeps nudging and trying to say, oh, you can't do this, because they ask for very specific documentation on group homes, not group homes, the homes you have, boarding homes.
Yeah.
And, things that don't exist. I think when they exist, someone has to go digging in the archives of DCA to find documents. So we spend a lot of time with the planner trying to find these documents. And at some point I said to Fair Share, this is ridiculous, we're not finding them. Can we do some sort of certification to get us over the hurdle? So that's what we're trying to do.
Okay, and then my other question is that we have people who are like subdividing and then building on that additional lot, and then we have people who are taking what were commercial properties and converting them to residential. So will those count towards our requirement?
Housing only counts if it's deed restricted. So if someone wants to build a house, residential, and make it an affordable unit, they have to have it deed restricted for it to count. You can't just say, well, I'm gonna have some affordable person come in. It has to be deed restricted for 30 years, and then the administrative agent will have to monitor that unit to make sure that it in fact stays affordable. And then we can get credit for it.
Is that the same theory if you had somebody from the state housing authority that is in a unit? Is that the same theory?
What type of housing?
The state housing authority.
Oh, the
there are
housing.
have people in the area that I know of that are renting now. Does that come into the equation?
We looked at housing authorities, and it depends on the restriction and the income. But I may be confusing my towns here, but there is a way to have some units from the Housing Authority count. And that's where a good planner comes in to help to make that determination. Does it meet the criteria to get credit? But you should always try to get Housing Authority units in as credit.
So I recently attended a presentation by DCA, right, DCA, and they were really pushing back what Margaret just brought up, the adjacency dwellings. So that also has to be under the guise of it's got to be, you know, it has to be this, it has to be followed.
Yeah, actually, last week, my municipality is the one who didn't do anything, and now it's under court order. They passed an ordinance for accessory dwelling units because they have found that a lot of people are using those buildings, housing, to subdivide. So they want to bring it under code. So there's a way to do it, and there are sample ordinances out there. There's a bill pending in the legislature that lays out a whole process for that. It hasn't been passed yet. So my recommendation is always follow what the legislation is doing just in case, so that you don't have to redo if it's passed, if you're doing an ordinance. So they are pushing accessory dwelling units as a means to get some additional housing.
So could the houses that we feel can be, those types of dwelling height, can that go towards your vacant land, like calculations?
Now, vacant land is more two things. If it's actually vacant, that's one. If it's underutilized, let's say there's a commercial development that left, so it's just land that's sitting there with the empty commercial project, they would consider that vacant. Fair Share looked at property when we were doing the vacant land that had a little park area between a building and another one and some parking lots, and it would get really ridiculous with what constitutes vacant land. But, and redevelopment areas.
Leslie, quick question. The units that are calculated via bonus in round 3 is, and we have a little bit of overage carrying into round 4. Does that calculation of how bonuses are calculated round 3 versus round 4 affect our overage?
It may. That's something I would have to look at a little closer, because there are some differences between 3 and 4.
Yeah. So
and credits that you get, and I mean, you both ways. You get more credits in the 3 and the 4, and in some cases, in the 4 you may get more than 3. So, I'm not sure.
Okay.
That's something to look at. Any other questions?
I just have one more. So if we say, you know, we're good with this 49 and we do all that, we do all of our postings, then somebody comes in and says, I don't think so. They got a lot of potential there. Who's responsible? Then do we have to fight that in court? And what happens?
It goes to that entity that I mentioned called the program.
Okay.
And they have to.
Affordable Housing Dispute Resolution Program.
Right. And they will look at it, and I'm sure there'll be an opportunity for the borough to counter whatever they set forth in their opposition. And then it would go to, if they haven't decided it, it would then go to, it may go to the court at that point, the administrative office of the courts, or it could go to the county judge. So it's not really clear on the challenge, the appeal process, but you do have an opportunity to speak on it. So if someone can't just say, we disagree with the borough's number, they have to justify it, show it very specifically, show their methodology that they use to get to that number, and then the borough will be able to challenge their methodology, saying you're wrong. And DCA will be the main person fighting it, because these are their numbers, unless someone finds an error that DCA says, oh, we missed that.
So in the past, it's been, if we had a builder's remedy contract, we would have many builder's So if somebody challenges that, is that limited to that one until it's rectified, or could 15 people come in and challenge it?
Yes, the latter, unfortunately. And that's why they have argued that the timeframes don't make sense, because you have the program dealing with potentially a lot of challenges. You know, 565 municipalities, how many will have challenges? And usually there'll be more than one if there's a challenge. And I was on a webinar or something, and the developers' attorneys have been telling their clients, look around municipalities, see what's vacant, and go to the municipality beforehand and see if you can work something out. So they're taking a very proactive position.
Still not a lot of municipal protection.
No.
I actually have a question now. So the 49, and so the DCA has given that number, and if a builder challenges it, is there like a presumption? Does the court look at that number as a presumption of a correct number?
Yes.
That's got more of a weight to it than
Yes.
just, okay. So they have to overcome that burden
Correct.
to develop it.
Yes. And that's important fact, yes, the presumption of validity.
Yeah, all right, that's very important.
Anything else?
Thanks, I think, Leslie.
Yeah. A lot to absorb.
Still not, but anyway.
No one is happy
We
with
appreciate
this.
your time and appreciate you coming in and going over this for us.
Something just occurred to me, and that is, you know, in agreeing to the number, and it seems as if we should agree to 49, but we'll have a conversation about that. The people who are incentivized to not have us agree to that number, the people who are around us with much higher numbers. Would the idea be that they could project some of their numbers onto us if they disagree with their numbers?
Well, they would need to look at their numbers
Okay.
and show why their number is wrong.
Yeah.
And then DCA presumably, when they look at everything, and let's say they agree with the other municipality that their number's wrong, then that might open the door for them to look at the others in
Right.
the region.
It's got to go somewhere.
Yes.
And in terms of region, we are as described. We're Monmouth and Ocean and Mercer.
Yes.
Okay. It's a pretty diverse group of municipalities in that grouping. Some very poor and some very wealthy. It's interesting.
But January 31st date's a deadline.
It's a deadline, so you can do it beforehand.
Yeah, we'll have something ready for at least by the second meeting in January. And Mayor, as I explained to you, I started taking the courses for the affordable housing designation. It is very boring. But yeah, it's dry as a bone, okay? But somebody has to learn about it, so I figured I might as well. I thought I was done with school, but one last hurrah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks.
Really appreciate it. Okay, item 6 is our administrative report.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, and I will
move that.
be as
I so move.
brief as possible. Just very quickly, in terms of redevelopment, we have on our agenda the approval of the financial agreement on our hometown redevelopment project. We have some representatives from the developer and our redevelopment council, as well as our planner here, if any questions are to come up because of that. We are circling the airport on 200 Park Avenue, which is a nice segue from the presentation because it is a builder's remedy suit. We've contacted the developer's attorney and asked what's going on, and we know the matter that was causing the delay was a discussion about a county drainage swale that they wanted to move on site. That's been resolved, so I don't know why they haven't commenced construction, but hopefully we'll know within the next few days. The mayor and I, along with Redevelopment Council, have met with representatives from both Nestle and the Raceway. There are discussions going on about both of those parcels of land, and we are in the process of drafting redevelopment plans, both for Nestle and the Raceway. I believe the Nestle plan has been circulated. If you have any comments, send them over so we can include them in the final iteration. That's where we are with that. We have a whole slew of roadway projects planned for this spring. That includes the continuation of safe routes to transit, downtown pedestrian safety, which is focusing now on the intersection of Throckmorton and Main Street. Unfortunately, the winter weather had got to us, so that's going to be delayed until the spring. Lloyd Street will be repaved in the spring. Throckmorton Street from the borough limit to, I believe it's a couple blocks short of Main Street. That'll be repaved in the spring. We're committed to Bond and Liberty Streets. We have some DOT money available, and we've included funding for that in our capital plan for next year, so we'll be able to do that. And then we did receive a nice early Christmas present in the form of a grant that will cover the entirety of resurfacing of Monmouth Avenue. So that was a very welcome gift, and I believe Senator Gopal had something to do with that. And then we received the usual amount for Robertsville Road, which is about $340,000. Certainly not enough to do the entire street, but to do a good portion of it. We also likewise have a lot of park activity that will be taking place in the spring. It'll be designed over the winter, bid in the spring, and we expect to see Liberty Street Park Phase 2, which will have a new play structure, a pickleball court, a soccer mini pitch, and a water feature. Musgrave Park will have a new play structure, as well as Lenore Park, which will have a unique handicapped accessible structure. And on the three of these parks, they're being funded with Green Acres funds, as well as county open space funds. So these improvements at each of these three parks will be done at virtually no cost to the local tax base. They're being done entirely with grant funds, which is something that we always like to do. We've had some conversations about the new public safety facility. We're in the process of tidying up the acquisition costs of 17 Broad Street, and we did receive notice of grant funding that was available, ironically, from the betting parlor, the off-track wagering facility, sports betting. So there's a sum of money available for both economic development projects, and we're focused on a wayfinding signage program for downtown that will clarify once and for all where there's available parking, what the parking regulations are, where all of our things that people go looking for are, and there'll be a nice complementary wayfinding signage package that'll be put together. You'll get to see it as it develops, that will unify downtown Freehold. And a lot of other towns have this. I'm sure you've seen it in Asbury and Red Bank, so it'll be like that. And we are also planning on using some of this money for the initial design phases for the new public safety facility. We expect to have an architect on board in January, and the preliminary design work, and it involved something that the architects like to call programming, where they will meet with the fire department as well as the police department and ask them what they think is necessary to be in a facility of this nature, and they'll work that in. And they have experience in doing those kind of products. Many of you, I think almost everybody, was at the library event on Saturday. It was very nice to see that many people there, and I know everybody was proud of the work that was done there. It is remarkable when a project comes to an end. And I think one of the first conversations I had when I walked in the door here was about the library grant. So it was nice to see the beginning and the end of that project. And the building does look very nice. On the management end of things, we're going to be talking about digital file storage. That is, if you happen to go that way in the building, there's a whole bunch of rooms full of boxes of files that we'd like to get digitized so they would be accessible. Right now, you have to go digging through boxes and everything. And there's a way to do it that's acceptable to the state, and then you don't have to store everything in paper form. So we're gonna be looking at that in the new year. We're gonna be looking at recodification. The personnel policy manual is in the hands of the supervisors of each department. They're redlining it and marking it up. They're gonna get back to me. We're gonna have a final version agreed upon, and then it'll be before you guys for approval at one of our upcoming meetings. Things are going well at the parking utility. It seems to have found its groove, and we did receive word from the courts that the state is now allowing the suspension of driver's license for scofflaws. Because of COVID restrictions, they had suspended that, but now it's back in effect. So there's been a run on paying for tickets at the court. So that's good news on that front. And I also had a conversation the other day. We had a meeting with our water engineer and Sir Niall, and we talked about Lawrence at Enright. The samples that we've been taking have come back clean for a consistent period of time. Sir Niall has talked to people in the neighborhood, and they all said, no, everything's fine. I'm crossing my fingers. I probably just jinxed myself, but the reports I'm getting is that the water quality is fine, and that would be attributed to the several months now of application of the new corrosion inhibitor that we've been using there. The company told us it'll take care of the problem, and it seems to have taken care of the problem. But we do still monitor every week. We take samples and we look for high iron concentrations, and that seems to have settled down. So we're in good shape on that front as well.
Steve,
And
is there any way we could send a survey out to that?
yeah, I did that once before, so I can do it again.
And, just so we can.
Yeah, that makes a lot of
follow up
sense.
with them.
That makes a lot of sense.
Thank you.
So that's my report, and I'm sticking to it. Any questions you have, or, it's quite busy, but it's exhilarating. It's a wonderful time to be in this business because there's so many great things about to happen.
Absolutely. Thanks, Steve. Thanks for reporting. Thanks for everything you do for us.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
I really appreciate it. Item 7 is the approval of minutes council meeting December 2nd, 2024.
I'd like to make a motion to approve them, please.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schutzer?
Yes.
Okay, the minutes of council meeting for December 2nd, 2024 are approved. Item 8 is a second reading public hearing ordinance 2024/33, amending Title 18 zoning, the Code of Borough of Fairfield establishing land use regulations for cannabis businesses. This is a second reading public hearing. I'd like to open up to the public. If anyone from the public care to address this ordinance, please step forward, state your name and address for the record.
Seeing no public comments, and we will close the public session.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schutzer?
Yes to close
Public hearing.
the public hearing.
Public hearing. All right, it's closed. We have a resolution adopting ordinance 2024/33 and authorization of publication.
Move that.
I'll second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schutzer?
No.
The ordinance 2024/33 is adopted. Item 9 is a second reading and public hearing ordinance 2024/34, approving an application for a long-term tax exemption and authorizing the execution of a financial agreement with Meridia Freehold Hometown Urban Renewal LLC related to the redevelopment of block 35, lots 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 26.02, 28, 29, 30, 31, and 32 on the tax maps of the borough. Again, this is a second reading public hearing. If anyone from the public care to address this ordinance, please step forward, state your name and address for the record.
Having no response, I'd like to close the public portion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schutzer?
Yes.
Okay, the public portion is closed. We have a resolution adopting ordinance 2024/34 and authorization of publication.
I'll move that.
Second?
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Friedman?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schutzer?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2024/34 is adopted. Item 10 is our consent agenda. Just a note that matters listed on the item of consent agenda required to conduct the day-to-day operations of the borough will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired of any items, that item will be considered separately. Someone would like to move consent agenda items CR1 through CR10?
I'll offer that.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, I would like to congratulate Grace Quinlan joining the fire department. She's a very aggressive, hard, and willing to learn fire person. And I would like to wish Max on Sowers with that all the best and thank him for his services for the fire department. Bill Madden's illness doesn't allow him to get around. He's 90-some years old, and I'd just like to thank Bill for his long service to the borough.
I think we all ditto that thanks to him for his service, years and years and
He
years.
served 44 years on the Board of Health and over, I think, 70 years on First Aid. He was really a driving factor in the public safety and the health of this community, and we missed. I was proud to serve on that for 4 years of life.
Yeah, we're gonna try to bring him in and honor him, for sure. Any further discussion?
Yes, I just wanted to highlight CR5, which is a new date for the borough, recognizing the first Saturday in April as Unity Day. We are excited, the HRAC committee is excited to bring this to Freehold Borough, and we hope to see a lot of participation from the community.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Friedman?
Yes, but I need to abstain on CR6, please.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schutzer?
Yes.
Okay, consent agenda items CR1 through CR10 are adopted. That's the end of our consent agenda. Item 11 is the approval of bills.
I'd like to make a motion that we pay our bills.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Friedman?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schutzer?
I will be abstaining on item number 47575 because it is reimbursement to me for what I put out for the seniors party, and I will vote yes on the others.
Okay, our bill list is approved. Do we do a roll call?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Threw me a curve there, Sharon.
Oh.
I tell everybody that's how you teach people, kids that ain't curveball in Little Leagues. Item 12 is a public comment, so I'd like to open it up to the public. If anyone from the public care to address the governing body, please step forward, state your name and address for the record.
Seeing no comment from the public, I move the public portion be closed.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Friedman?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schutzer?
Yes.
Okay, our public comment section is closed. Item 13 are council reports and comments. I'll start off with Council President Schutzer.
I have nothing except that we had the seniors party. It was delightful, and I thank all those who helped us with that. A special thank you to Jay Sims, who consented to be our bus driver for that day. He has the proper license, and we haven't been able to find anybody to drive our bus. So I was very happy with everybody who helped, so thank you. That's all.
Okay.
And on that note, the horn works in that bus, Sharon, because Jay waved and talked to everybody in town because he knows everybody. He came by the shop, honk, 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 honk. So he had a good time. Congratulations to our new officers, the promotions, and to their families. Two of the members, policemen that were sworn in, their fathers are firefighters. One is a former Monmouth County officer. So there's a long history there of giving back to the community. I think this is our last before the holiday.
Yes.
Merry Hanukkah.
Thank you. Councilmember Jordan.
Just Couple quick notes. Again, congratulations to all the officers tonight. It's wonderful to be able to welcome them into the Freehold family. Recreation Holiday House Decorating Contest winners will be announced on Thursday night in Capitol Hall Records at 5:30. There'll be a flyer. I think there's some other festivities, so come on out and see who gets the prizes. And also, we launched last Saturday. It was the second season of Freehold Recreation Basketball. All the games take place at Park Avenue School. It's really great to see all these kids come out. We had a huge number of kids come out for this again this year. And they are looking for volunteers. So if anybody has a free Saturday, you can just go on the website and go under recreation and you can just go on, shoot off an email, tell them you want to participate. It's a great opportunity. And happy holidays, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Rogers.
Thank you. I just want to echo what Annette said about the Freehold Drama Basketball League. I was able to attend a game on Saturday. The kids were, it was just exciting to watch. Having been, having coached with my husband for many years, we really enjoy the sport, and it was fun to watch the children enjoying themselves. I also want to reiterate the congratulations on the promotions to our officers this evening and welcome our new officers. Just seeing them tonight just made me incredibly proud that we have such fine officers and such fine leadership in our police department. Our library celebrated their 120th birthday anniversary, to use your kind of connection there. It was well attended. Everybody had a great time. I definitely want to extend a thank you to our librarian, Kathy, who came as the original librarian. Our special guest, Andrew Carnegie, our trustees, who the president is here tonight, Jenny. Thank you all for all the work that you do for our library, and of course to the library staff, who is amazing. I just want to thank, everybody who had anything to do with this and all the people who came out. It was really a very nice day, and just a nice way to show off our upgraded library. So thank you to everyone. Happy holidays to everyone. Enjoy, be safe, and spend time with family.
Thank you. Councilmember Reich.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Congratulations as well to the officers that were promoted, to the new members of the force. Chief, how big is our force now? How many members are on the force?
31 officers.
31. That's fantastic. And that's great. And the amount of good that they do in our borough is second to none. It's great to see them around town, and it's always a pleasure to have a police force here in the borough hall as well.
Thank you.
The first annual Unity Day that Councilman Rogers mentioned, which is going to be on Saturday the 5th, the Human Relations Advisory Commission is going to look to start small with that. We're looking to have a march, a Unity March, from the Court Street School to the library. We're hoping that as the day expands over the years, we'll make it a little bit bigger. We'll have a larger event to it. But in the coming months of the new year, the Advisory Commission Committee will start putting together a plan, and they're going to be looking to make a presentation to Mayor and Council at the beginning of the year with their goals for the Unity Day and how they want to see it grow. So as Councilman Rogers says, please come out and support. I think it's something that we all need, not only just in the borough, but in general. Our business administrator has put up some renderings of the hometown redevelopment project that we're cycling through a slideshow. And I'm sorry if people who are streaming can't see them, but they are fantastic looking. It's a really, really great melding of our historical aspects of downtown with the new construction. I'm really excited about the plazas, specifically the one that's going to be between the new structure and the firehouse, which is going to become the Springsteen Museum. I can't wait to have that come to fruition so that we can have events out there. This is a really cool project, and I'm really excited that we passed the resolution tonight to start moving on this. I can't wait for it to start getting into full swing. and to see all the changes that are going to happen in the downtown area. So, gentlemen, thank you for coming out tonight and for being part of this. I went to the opening game of the basketball league. My son Braden plays on one of the teams. I think it was a testament to the coaches and the league. After the game, he came back home and he said, "We lost, but I had a really great time." And I think that really shows what the league is there for. It's to show these kids that basketball can be fun whether you win or lose. I do have one complaint though. He is on the UConn Huskies team, and as a Syracuse University graduate, I cannot cheer for a Husky. So we have to come up with a compromise, my wife and I. So, but other than that, it was a great thing to see all the kids playing. It's a great opening day. I'd like to thank everybody that came out to Reed's Cross America this past Saturday at Elks Point at noon. It's an annual tradition that happens at our Elks Point. It was a pleasure to see members of both our council and the council came there, as well as members representing all of our military veterans in the borough, as well as some community members and residents. Promise next year there will be a podium with a microphone so that the chairperson from the lodge is not screaming over or shouting over traffic, which I got scolded for that too. But thank you very much. Unfortunately, there was a passing in one of the church members of Bethel Church, and so their Reed's Cross America ceremony is going to be postponed. And as soon as we have more information about that, we'll put it out there so that we can have a Remembrance Day at the Squirreltown Cemetery. Finally, I just want to remind everybody this holiday season, it's not what's under the tree that matters, it's who is around it. I hope you all have a very happy, healthy, and enjoyable holiday season. Thank you.
Thank you. Joe probably has a resolution for that basketball conflict. You just root for Notre Dame.
No.
Yeah, UConn, Syracuse.
No, that's even worse, I think.
Just thinking. Good point. Thank you. Councilmember Freeman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I do also want to congratulate the officers and thank the chief for his hard work. Happy holidays, everybody. And I would like to mimic what Adam was saying about the presentation we have on the video. Hopefully we can get that up on the website so the residents can see. I think we're going to see this is, economic development and encouraging the economics. We want downtown, the shops, the vibrancy. This is the next step in that, and I'm very excited to see it come to fruition. So, have a good night and happy holidays.
Thank you. We do have one more resolution. I just want to make a couple comments before we do item 14. Just to piggyback off of this, I mean, look at that shot right there. I mean, that can't wait to see. There's going to be so many things going on in that space. It's going to be great. We at the library, I did a chance to speak at the library 120th anniversary, and we mentioned our redevelopment. I was talking a little bit about redevelopment. Showed them one picture. Afterwards, there were probably 8 or 10 people sitting around saying, "We can't wait to move in." So we want to get in. How do we get in? How do we get in? So this is going to be tremendous. But Sharon mentioned about the senior Christmas party, and I say this every year, but I don't, want it to go unnoticed. Honestly, if it wasn't for Sharon doing that party for our seniors, a lot of those seniors wouldn't even have anything to celebrate over the holidays. So I just want to say thank you for all you do for that, because sitting there talking to everybody that afternoon, they are very appreciative, and may not have a lot of family or anything, and this is their holiday for them. So thank you for doing that.
And you make it very special.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Couple quick notes. This Saturday, rumor has it, between 12 and 4, we're going to be doing our annual holiday music, throughout town and in front of the Hall of Records. So if you happen to be driving down Main Street and you hear a lot of commotion, it's just us waving and playing holiday music. So there'll be more on that coming up. And then Saturday, the 28th, we've been invited by Freehold Raceway to go up. They're saying that it's the last my interpretation that it's the last day of racing for them. I don't think we've seen the last day of racing at that facility, but they've invited us to come up for that, you know, if anybody's around wanted. Now I'm not gonna say it, I don't wanna say what I was really gonna say. But, I'm not as eloquent as Councilperson De Benedetto is, so I'm gonna say Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and Happy Kwanzaa to everybody. Hope you have a great holiday. So thank you all for coming out. Congratulations to all the officers. Great job, Chief. Thank you. Item 14 this evening is a resolution authorizing a meeting not open to the public in accordance with the provisions of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-12B8, potential litigation. Someone like to move that, please?
I'll move that.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Jordan? Yes. Rice?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schuster?
Yes.
And we're gonna be going into exec session. We're gonna be coming out, just to close